Today's major conflicts represents failure of diplomacy. Given the scale of the turmoil shaking the world, in particular in Ukraine and the Middle East, the potential for a spark that ignites World War III already exists. Last few weeks' events added fuel to the existing battlefields. First, with the assassination of Hamas's political chief, Ismail Haniyeh, Iran blamed Israel for the death and vowed to respond to the killing with power and decisiveness. Tehran's threats of a further escalation mean the risk of a full-scale regional war is rising, and with the potential for a single miscalculation to ignite a deeper and more unmanageable conflict. After the assassination of Palestinian leader, Russia's security links with Iran started to grow stronger. Moscow and Tehran see Israel and Ukraine wars indelibly linked. Recently, Russian Secretary of the Security Council and former Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu was in Tehran and transfer reports of Russian Iskander short-range ballistic missile systems and Murmansk B-1 electronic warfare systems to Iran broke out. These systems carry ability to fire conventional or nuclear warheads. There is a possibility of transferring Russian Su-35 fighter jets, which indicates that the Russian technology will help Iran to engage other regional players in a big way. In the past, Russia kept a distance from the happenings of the Middle East. But after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Iran has provided Russia with a large number of powerful ballistic missiles, including Fateh 110 family of short-range ballistic weapons that Moscow has successfully used in Ukraine war. Moreover, in August 2022, Iran transferred attack and surveillance drones to Russia. And since that time, Moscow's been deploying Iranian drones against Ukrainian targets. Russian defense moves indicate that Russia has fully entered into the Middle East war zone arena by providing and committing its advanced weapons, and Moscow knows very well that weapons will be used against Israel or the US in case a war broke in the region. Russia-Ukraine war, the second major conflict zone, is already heating up and ready to blow. In the last 2 weeks, we have seen massive build-up, and Ukraine's Kursk incursion is a major blow to Putin's authority since February 2022. Washington Post in its report disclosed that during the invasion, 28 villages were captured and at least 2,000 Russians are missing in the territory taken by Ukraine. After the Ukrainian incursion into Russian territory, Russia warns that the world is on the brink of a third world war, and the US-led NATO alliance is behind Ukraine's incursion into Russia. Moscow accused that there is irrefutable proof that foreigners are participating with the attacks in Russian Federation, and there is a presence of Western military equipment. Russian presidential aide Yuri Ushakov, in a video message, said that Moscow was not ready to hold peace talks with Ukraine for now, given Kyiv's attack on Russia's Kursk region. Ukraine's incursion, the biggest into Russia by any foreign power since World War II, began on August the 6th, when thousands of Ukrainian soldiers crossed Russia's western border, which was a major embarrassment for the Russian military. Russian President Putin in June said that Russia would end the war in Ukraine only if Kyiv drops its NATO ambitions. But Kyiv takes Moscow's demand as a complete surrender. Russian government officials in a latest statement pointed out that Ukrainian President Zelensky would have never attacked the Kursk region if the United States had not instructed him to. Concluding our review on these major war zones, there is no doubt that the United States of America is responsible for both these conflicts. In the Middle East, it's Washington that provides dollars, bombs to Zionist state to carry out genocide, ethnic cleansing, and assassinations in neighboring countries. Whereas at Ukrainian front, it's the Washington's desire to build NATO's reach till the borders of Russia by admitting Ukraine as NATO's member. But that is not acceptable to Russia. And now, Ukrainian incursion into Russia is a red line. US political class lack the wisdom to understand that a war is going to happen due to their own actions. In the Middle East, the Americans are acting on the directives of completely lawless and rogue state of Israel, whereas Washington dragged Europe in the battlefield by direct incursion of Ukrainian forces. It's totally a disastrous state of affairs. American professor Jeffrey Sachs, in an interview, critically analyzed the global position and viewed that the US don't have a president that perhaps is even physically or mentally capable to stop a world war. He didn't show his mental and physical capacity. He didn't show his judgment to do something different. It is the job of American president first and foremost to stop this war machine of the United States, which is always revving, and it is revving right now. And the job of the president of the United States is to stop it by putting his foot on the brakes so we don't have another world war. Diplomacy failed, and the Washington is a key player in the making of a World War III. Unfortunately, one of the war theaters could be the Middle East, covering all the Muslim nations, and in result, already suppressed states will have to face more wars.